Rise and shine, Gabbys, to all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear guest. A warm welcome to meeting number 237 of this Gabbys Toastmasters Club. I am Paduka Kannan, your surgeon at arms for today's meeting. As a surgeon at arms, it's my duty to highlight some of the key pointers of this meeting, or for housekeeping items. Number one, the meeting is blocked for 2 hours. Also, urging you to stay for the entire duration of the meeting to get the maximum benefits. Number two, your video should be on and audio should be off, right? And unmute yourself whenever you're called to speak. There is a need to speak. Number three, regarding the topics of sex, religion, and politics, even the Toastmasters International does not put any restriction on speaking on these topics. At Gabbys Toastmasters Club, we request all the speakers and the role takers to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. Because our club mission is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which the members can be empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and a personal growth. With this, let me hand it over the stage to the presiding officer of today's meeting. Our presiding officer for today is Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi. She carries over 14 years of professional experience in finance and tech consultancy. And from her work, she enjoys solo traveling and discovering new places. With this short intro, let me call Toastmaster Sree Lakshmi onto the stage. Over to you, please.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Paduka and the Sergeant of Arms today for starting the meeting on time and for laying out the ground rules and the guidelines for the meeting to proceed further. So it is my pleasure to host today's meeting as the presiding officer. I hereby call the meeting number 237 to order. So before we start, I would welcome the guest, the visiting Toastmasters and the club members of the Gabbys to today's meeting. So let's start with a quick intro of our guest or our visiting Toastmasters and a quick brief. We will just take like 30 seconds intro. So please come up with your name and where you're from, basically if you're a Toastmaster or a guest, and what brought you to today's meetings. I can see some guests today. Rahul, Toastmaster Rahul, would you like to start with a quick intro, a 30-second intro? Sorry, if you're talking, it's on mute. Maybe I'll come back to you. Toastmaster Shaker, or you're a guest, would you like to go ahead with a quick intro of yourself with your name, where you're from, if you're a Toastmaster or a guest, and what brought you to Gabbys today?
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. I am from HP Toastmasters Club actually. So I have around 11 years experience in software. I'm in software in HP. Thanks.
So, thank you so much, Toastmaster Shaker, for joining the call today. Any other guests today in today's meeting? Piyush, I can see you just joined. Are you a guest or a Toastmaster?
Hi, I'm a member actually.
Okay, you're a member.
Yeah.
I'm like, we are just going ahead with the intros, so I'll come back to you later on. Any other guest who's joined in? I can see guest, you're a visiting Toastmaster regularly, Shalin. So would you just want to get started with a quick intro, just a 30 seconds? And you keep coming back, so what makes you to come back to Gabby's family again?
So, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm Shalin from Pink City Toastmasters Club, Jaipur. I keep coming back to these meetings because I want to learn as much as possible, and it's always great to attend these meetings of Gabby's club. That's all from my side. I look forward to an enriching experience today as well.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shalin. So we'll actually look forward to more meetings where you keep coming back as a visiting Toastmaster. So in the interest of time, we'll move ahead, but please make use of the chat window to maybe put your quick intro and have an active conversation there. So, for the benefit of guests and members who are present here, a quick intro of the Toastmaster family. So, Toastmaster is a 100 years old nonprofit organization started by Dr. Ralphie Smedley, where people come in for public speaking and to improve their leadership skills. So, looking at the entire journey of Toastmasters for 100 years, so currently we have grown to 15,000 clubs across the globe in 100 plus countries and approximately 280,000 members overall. So coming to a little bit of Gabbys, we actually connect twice in a week where we have our online meeting, the Gabbys Online Advanced Club, which happens on Tuesday at 7:30, and the hybrid meeting, which happens on Saturday at around 10 a.m. So in order to move ahead, I would first introduce our joke master today. So since we have our Toastmaster Ankur as a joke master. So quick intro of Toastmaster Ankur. So Ankur Vishwakarma is an enthusiastic software engineer who merges his passion for technology with a desire to learn, frequently seeking out new locations to read and expand his knowledge. So his real passion lies in animal welfare, and he devotes his effort to enhancing the lives of animals and fostering enduring change. I know we haven't been having a good trend of joke masters in our Gabby's meeting, but look forward to your bad jokes and to keep the audience going from here. Thank you, and over to you, Ankur.
Thank you, Presiding Officer Sri Lakshmi. Do I have any background noise? I reached the hybrid location, and is there some noise, or can I start?
No, all good.
Oh yeah. How many of you have taken cabs in Bangalore? Can I get a raise of hands? Good, good. Well, there are a lot of types of cabs in Bangalore. The ones that make you like their favorite songs by playing it so loud that you can't listen your own songs even when you have your headphones on. The one who keeps getting cozy with the ones who they are on phone with. But we won't be talking about all the categories today. I'm going to focus on just one. The one who chews something. I'm not sure if I am allowed to take the name of that thing, but I hope you know. As a hint, I come from my infamous city of Kanpur. That is very infamous for this. Uh, a lot of people keep getting jealous about us. They are like, during British rule, you were the industrial center, and hence red marbles were imported from outside, and you got those buildings and red roads made from those red marbles. You don't see the effort, how much effort we are putting as citizens of that city by trying to keep it red with so many hurdles all the time. There is acid rain, there are animals walking, there are so many things. And I would be doing certain actions today, but I just want to assure that I am just a theory learner. I have never taken the practical. So the cab drivers in Kanpur, they have learned the skill of how to use this while they ride the cabs. So let's say while they are riding at a speed of 50, 60, they are comfortably able to open their door with one hand, driving with other, and with a triangle, just a triangle there, the door, the hand, and the base of the car. With such a precision, they can just spit it out. There are two parts to chewing that thing. One is taking it in, one is spitting, as I told. So that thing has reached how, I don't know how, to Bangalore cab drivers, but they have forgotten, or they have not fully mastered the second part. So one day I'll tell you a story. I was just going to the airport from my home in a cab, and it was that October, November time. It was a little chilly, and I was going home for a month. And since I was going in a smoke zone in the north, I opened my windows, and the weather was cool. The guy also had half of his window open. I put my earphones on. I was in my own bike. Then this guy, he pulls down his window and just this. And now, from whatever theorem of physics, high pressure, low pressure, that thing just enters my window. I'm like, hey brother, what are you doing? He's like, yeah, I, and I was like, sorry, what did you do? And before I could say any other thing, he pulled down his window again. And before I could get the time to pull that window up, he did it again. And then while driving the cab, he looks into his back mirror and he's like, sorry, bhaiya, a little might have come. And I'm like, bhaiya, that all is okay. But you shouldn't shoot this much. It's injurious for health. That's all from my side. Back to you, Presiding Officer.
Thank you so much, Ankur. Let's give a round of applause to our joke master. I was still trying to understand where was the joke, but then, yeah, I guess we all laughed. Thank you for that. So in order to start with the theme of the day, I would just like to give a quick background. I guess who all felt that the theme is a bit different, like fight or flight, right? It's a very interesting theme. I believe many would have joined just because of the theme of the day. So today's theme, as I did mention, it's fight or flight, which dives into critical moments where we are faced with a choice to confront challenges head on or to take a step back. So let's explore how these instinctive responses shapes our decision and our growth and our leadership skills. So I would like to call upon the TMOD with a quick intro. So today's TMOD will be played by Nirmita Bhattacharya. She is a HR professional with 16 years of industry experience. She has been living in Bangalore for the past 14 years with a husband and an 8-year-old daughter. Originally from Varanasi, she completed her schooling and college in Kolkata. She is passionate about traveling, cooking, and she finds deep fulfillment in leading a life with purpose. Yeah, over to you, Toastmaster Nimrita, to take it further from here. The virtual stage is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Presiding Officer Sri Lakshmi, and thanks for the introduction which you have given. So it's lovely. I'm also delighted that I'm here today taking up the role of TMOD. And trust me, what I'm saying right now, the delighted and all, it was not the same thing in the morning because this is the first time I'm taking a role. And in the morning, I had this thing in my mind that shall I go ahead or I shall make some excuses or how should I go ahead with that? And parallelly, one of the voice in my mind just came in that you have committed, please go ahead with that. And I chose to come over here and take up the role. And when I introspected a bit, I realized it's not just me, but many of us, or I would say each and every one of us, we come across this crossroads where we think what to do. Where we feel the nerves, like we feel nervous, our hand shivers, our brain gets fogged, and we are not sure what to be done. Shall we step forward? Shall we step back? And that's when our brain it reacts and takes that action in a split second, whether to fight or to flight. And with that theme, we are going to explore the entire theme today and listen to a lot of us. But before I move ahead, as I was speaking, a quick question came into my mind, which I would like to ask each one of you, and I would request you to please raise your hand. Uh, how many of you over here have been in a fight mode in the first couple of sessions of Toastmaster? No one? In the first couple of session have been in a fight mode, have taken it forward? Okay. Toastmaster Puneeth, Toastmaster Shaleen. Great. And if I have to ask, like, how many of you who have been in a flight mode in first couple of sessions of Toastmaster? Yes, Toastmaster Piyush. I see a few hands here. Okay. What about others? Still thinking. Okay. Now, another quick question. I'm sure a lot of hands will be raised in the second part. If there is a tiger in front of you, in which mode you will be in? You can just flight mode. How many of you? All in flight mode? Okay, no one in the fighting mode, is it?
Fear
It
mode.
dep it depends on whether a tiger is alive or dead, or maybe it's a baby tiger or a.
Okay, that's a different perspective of this question, but
It's
good.
simple. Pick your fights.
Great. Yes, you pick your fights. And you
I
pick
can
your
fight a tiger. I can fight the cat, but I cannot fight a tiger.
the small tiger. Okay. Great, great. Good to hear. And that's what it is. When we talk about fight or flight, if you ask me couple of months before, when I have been part of the Toastmaster Gabbys club for last couple of months, but before couple of months, I was thinking, I was preparing myself, observing others, and I took this opportunity to think and all, and then come forward. So I was in a flight mode. But today in the morning, I thought like it's enough of it, and let me go ahead. So it all depends on the situation, on the scenario, how you prioritize, how you take it forward. And everyone has their own versions of it, own thought, and accordingly they take this forward. And similarly, as I say that, today we are going to listen to a lot of other stories, other situations, the stories of courage, resilience, and how people have pushed themselves or have taken the different course. So we are going to have in today's session three sections. First will be the prepared speech. Then we will be having the table topic uh, uh, a session, and then it will be a general evaluation. And for the general evaluation, we have our general evaluator of the day today, uh, Toastmaster Puneeth Suraana. We know Toastmaster Puneeth Suraana before he has been an evaluator and active member of Toastmaster Gabbys Club. So Puneeth is a dynamic force in the world of ideas and inspiration. He is a producer and host of the Galata podcast, which is a show that lives up to its name, Galata, meaning lively noise or ruckus in Canada. Through powerful conversations with changemakers and entrepreneurs, Puneeth explores the chaos behind creation, uncovering stories of ambition, team building, and relentless pursuits of value. He is known for his sharp insights and contagious energy, and also have become a motivational voice for young dreamers, and his work not only informs but ignites action. So I would request Toastmaster Puneeth to please take the stage and also introduce his tag team, who will be evaluating all of us speaking and will be sharing their constructive feedback, which will help every one of us to fight further and grow in our lives. So over to you, Toastmaster Puneeth.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nirmita. As the general evaluator today, my tag team, my evaluator team, and I will not choose to fight or flight. Instead, we will choose to focus on how we can improve. With that, I would love to have Toastmaster Malathi introduce her timer role. Malathi, if you can introduce your timer role.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, good morning to you all. As a timer, I will time the table topic speakers from and formal speeches, the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red cards, which denote the specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise a green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And 1 minute, at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. For the those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Icebreaker speeches should be 4 to 6 minutes in length. At 4 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 5 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the red card. Most other speeches should be limited in 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. And at 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. Individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. And at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Thank you, Toastmaster. Back to you.
Thank you, Malti, for laying it out for us and for demonstrating it in your backdrop. Moving on, can we have the language evaluator, or better known as grammarian, uh, Toastmaster and presiding officer, Sri Lakshmi?
Yeah, thank you so much, General Evaluator. So today I'll be playing the role of a language evaluator, which is a dual role of a grammarian and the R counter role. So in order to, with respect to the R counter, I will be making note of any filler words, any short pauses, long pauses, or any, uninterrupted words as actually made use of by any of the speakers and the role takers. And with respect to the grammarian role, I will be making note of any good usage of words, good quotes that's been called out, and also the language usage in by the speakers and any of the role takers. So today's word of the day is resolute, which means admirably purposeful, determined, and unwavering, especially in the face of challenges or danger. A usage of an example of the word in a sentence. Despite the mounting pressure, she remained resolute, choosing to fight for her beliefs rather than flee from conflict. So I would encourage all the role takers and the speakers to use the word of the day, resolute. I would also be updating that in the chat window for your reference. And I will come back with my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. And I got to know that you are doing the heavy lifting for the grammarian, R counter, and presiding officer. So may the forces be with you today. Moving on, can we have the listener, which is a unique role at Gabbys? Listener Jayesh Sen, could you please introduce the role for the members and guests?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Puneeth. Being a good listener is just as important as being a good speaker. So, as the listener of the day, I'll be noting few interesting tidbits of information from any of the speakers. And at the end, I'll be posing few questions just to check that everyone was paying attention. Back to you, Toastmaster Puneeth.
Thank you, Jayesh. Like I started with, it's time for us to focus and fly back to the Toastmaster of the day. And I will get back to my report at the end of the meeting.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Puneeth. So with that, as Toastmaster Puneeth has mentioned, it's not their role today to fight or flight, rather observe and help everyone to fight and fly for better in future. So let's move forward and hear from our speakers of the day, of their versions and how they have motivated themselves, how they have gone through the different journeys of their life. And with that, I would like to call upon our first speaker of the day, Toastmaster Paduka Kannan, who will be evaluated by Toastmaster Sathyanarayan Induchoodan. So I hope Toastmaster Sathyanarayan, you are there in this room.
Yeah. Oh, I'm evaluating on that.
Great. So Toastmaster Paduka, she is taking the path of presentation mastery, level 2, project number 1. And the project name is Understanding Communication Style. And the speech title is I Speak in the Light and Shadow. So little bit about Toastmaster Paduka. She is no new to Toastmaster, as she has been part of the Toastmaster for more than 5 years and is an ex VP membership of the Gabbys Toastmaster Club. She is the past area director of Area B1, District 92. Professionally, with more than 14 years of experience in automotive segments, she is a project manager and a solution architect. With that, over to you, Toastmaster Paduka. I speak in light and shadow. I speak in light and shadow. Toastmaster Paduka.
Have you ever felt like you're two different people in one body? Rise and shine, Gabbys. Do you know, every single time I say those words, feel a spark, like a call to bring out my best foot forward. One version of mine that thrives in the spotlight, while the other just want to curl up quietly in a room. And that's exactly what I wanted to speak about it today. Both the brightness of the expression, the calm of the silence, the light and the shadow is how I communicate. Before I go deeper onto this topic, let me quickly touch upon the 4 basic communication styles, just so that we are aligned as I speak. Number 1, direct, or I could say it's more of a driver kind of a place, where it's fast, action-oriented, focused on results. Number 2, expressive, high energy, talks freely, loves brainstorming. Number 3, amiable, warm, calm, and values relationship and harmony. Number 4, analytical, structured, logical, and detail focused. We all have a mix, but 1 or 2 dominate depending on the situation. In case of me, to work, I shine as expressive. However, in my personal space, I just go quiet. Not sad, not upset or something, or not even disappointed. Definitely not. Maybe just no energy to speak as I come home or into my room. In fact, earlier, I thought maybe this was one of my weaknesses as well. So, this project helped me to reflect on both the versions of myself. Professionally, my expressive with a touch of amiable style, I must say, helped me to lead with energy, along with a bit of an empathy along with it. But I've also seen its blind spots. Sometimes I talk more than I listen. Sometimes, in my excitement, I forget to give space to others to contribute. Sometimes I move too fast while others may need a bit more time. In fact, yesterday, one of my colleagues was stating that I do stuff too fast. I retaliated stating that I don't want to go slow because I wanted to finish off this particular my work. However, I'm trying. I'm trying to maybe start giving more pauses, listen without planning of my next point. And personally, I'm trying to stop judging myself for being very quiet. Silence doesn't mean absence, because sometimes silence is just a different way of being fully present, right? That's how we recharge. That's how the communications. Also, you communicate just without words as well. Here is my takeaways. We all communicate differently, and our styles shift depending upon our space, people, and mood. But what matters most isn't which style we are. It is whether we are aware of it and whether we adjust when needed and whether we are authentic as well. Whether I'm loud outside or quiet inside, both are still me. Both are valid and both are powerful in its own way. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to evolve. I'm still listening to myself and to others. So, ladies and gentlemen, be expressive, be silent, be structured, be kind. Just don't forget to be you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Paduka, for sharing this insightful thing about the communication. And as you have mentioned rightly, what matters the most is to be aware and to be authentic. Because if we are aware of the situation of what we are, what is there inside, and we are honest to us, I think every one of us can take the right decision at that moment, which will be helping us in our future. So with that, thank you so much, Toastmaster Paduka, and let's move on to our next prepared speech of the day by Toastmasters Sapna Agarwal. And for that, it will be evaluated by Toastmaster Rahul V. Soni. Rahul, you are there? Okay,
Yes, I'm right here.
great.
I'm
Uh,
so sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
I think the timer left the meeting. Even when as I was speaking, I was able to see there was no timer all of a sudden. So, do we need to wait back until she joins? Because it's a prepared speech section.
sure.
Yes, Toastmaster Paduka. I believe she's having some couple of challenges to join in, and she's just trying to rejoin back.
Okay.
Can I take up timer?
Yeah, I was actually going to
Sure,
say,
sure,
if you want,
Toastmaster
I could
Mita.
just do a
I
quick
think
time.
she has joined back. I just admitted her in. Maybe, yeah, I think she's joined back. Over to you, TMOD. Sorry for the interruption.
Thank you so much for highlighting that. I wouldn't have noticed. Okay, so let's move forward for our second prepared speech of the day by Toastmaster Sapna Agarwal. She has chosen the path Dynamic Leadership. This is project number 1, level 1, and project name is Icebreaker Speech. The speech title is Overcoming the Voice of Fear, which is very important for all of us. So let me just introduce her. She was born and brought up in Chandigarh and blessed with two sons, being a law graduate and practicing in Delhi right now. And she is learning new languages and completed an advanced diploma in French. Her hobbies are singing and traveling. She firmly believes that this society has given a lot, and now it's our turn to give back to the society for what we have got over here. Also, she is very spiritually inclined person who believes in God and the kindness of God. With that, I would hand over to you, Toastmaster Sapna, overcoming the voice of fear. Overcoming the voice of fear, Toastmaster Sapna.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Toastmaster of the Day. So, good morning, dear friends. My name is Sapna Agarwal. I'm a lawyer by profession, and I come from a family which is very, very supportive and loving. Growing up as a child, I've always been surrounded by strong personality people around me. But as a person, I've always struggled with my fears and self-doubts. Today, I'll be narrating some of the experiences and stories of my life which have helped me in overcoming those fears and have given me a shape of an improved version, a better personality of me. So I will start with my childhood, of my student life. The biggest learning of my student life was that never ever miss an opportunity that comes your way. As a student, I have missed upon many opportunities that came my way, and because of that, I have lost many things. So I'll narrate a small incident. There was this uh, election for the post of class representatives in my class. Since I was an all-rounder student, so many students approached me and they asked me to stand as a candidate for the post. But since I was nervous and having hesitation in the heart of hearts, I said no for that. And later on, somebody else was elected, and I felt extremely, extremely bad and sad also. And that was the day I decided and told myself that from now onwards, I will never ever miss any opportunity, whichever will come my way. So now I will talk about my fears. One of the biggest fears that I faced as a child was the fear of water. And whenever I would look upon those swimmers glide through waters, and I would always have this feeling, wish I could swim like them. But then, the fact remains that even the thought of going into the water always terrified me. But then there was something inside me that kept me pushing, and I kept working hard and hard on it, and I kept practicing again and again, and until a day came that I actually did my 20 lengths. And believe me, that was the biggest day of my life, and I felt as if I'm a winner. And I felt extremely proud of myself. It proved me that confronting our fears can really lead to an incredible growth, and that's the only way to overcome your fears. Now, that another challenge that I faced was when I started my practice in law. So at that time, standing before a judge and making my arguments in a very logical, precise, and clear manner was extremely impossible task for me. Once I even decided not to go into the profession, but then there was something inside me that a thought came across my mind and said, why not to try? Then another thought came upon my mind, what if I'll fail? At least I would have tried. If I give up now and I don't try for anything without even trying, I give up, that means in any case I am failing. So I just decided to give it a try. And today I am extremely happy and proud to announce that the law has become, actually this subject has become the greatest passion with me, and I'm so happy to announce that I've handled a large number of cases in the field of environment, consumer, and RERA. So now I really feel that this is the best thing that I've done in my life by moving into this profession, because it's such a fulfilling and noble profession. I'll recall a story of a case where a child became mentally challenged due to incorrect medical treatment. So his parents also later filed a case before the lower court, and they lost it. And later on, they approached me, and I took up their matter up to the national level. And believe me, that not only I was able to secure a favorable judgment in favor of that child, but also the compensation, huge compensation for the child and for his entire educational expenses till he attained the age of 18 years. This experience showed that this profession was so noble that it can really bring about a meaningful change in the lives of people if correct amount of time, dedication, and hard work is paid to it. And there's another story in which one of our family friends who had missed the Air India flight to Goa, and because of that their trip was ruined. They came upon me, and I fought a case against Air India and was able to secure a huge amount of compensation in favor of my clients. Believe me, my friends, every experience in life, be it good or bad, it teaches you something. My fears have also taught me a lot and have brought me a long way in making me somebody who really believes in himself, who is ready to make positive impact, how small it may be, with courage, hard work, and determination. Almost everything and anything is possible in this world, and nothing is impossible. I'm a very resolute person, so I've really taken up my challenges in a very positive way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sapna. It was indeed an incredible speech, more than that, an incredible takeaway, I would say. Because, when we talk about ourself, self doubt is one thing which always comes in mind, and the word what if. What if is the thing which can be taken in a positive manner, and you say, what if, things goes well, then also it will be happening. If it doesn't go well also, what is the last resort? So that's the courage, the determination, the resolute which you have spoken about, which keeps us going, everyone is going. And we need not to win the medal, which you have mentioned, that it's not about winning the medal at the last, but more is like getting the better version of ourselves in each step we take forward. So it was lovely to hear, and of course it's a motivation for each and every one of us for our steps forward in life. Thank you so much for that, Toastmaster Sapna.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and with that, another question came to my mind, and I thought of asking. Maybe we all are not very often open about our fears. Right from our childhood till this time, we all have some fears in our mind. As if I talk about myself, my biggest fear when I was a kid was to come and I used to learn this vocal music. So wherever I used to go, my parents used to say that, hey, why don't you sing two lines for this uncle or auntie? And that was the biggest fear for me when I used to go with my parents to any of our relatives' house. Uh, so, any one of you who want to share the fear which you had as a child or maybe now, in couple of seconds?
Yeah, I have the fear of ghost.
Ghost.
Ghosts. Yeah, I can't watch horror movies, especially at night. So I do it in the daytime when they
Okay.
can't catch me. I am still fighting with that fear.
Okay. I hope you will overcome that very soon.
I have one fear as well. I have a fear as well. Hello, anybody there?
Yes, yes, we can
Able to hear
hear
me?
you. Yes.
Okay, I was just saying that as Toastmaster Jay said about the ghost, right?
Mhm.
Along with the ghost, I did have fear to actually speak to people and all. But now I think I don't have that anxiety fear, but still the ghost fear is still there because I see ghost in people or ghost in human beings. That way, I think that's my fear.
Great. And I'm sure you're fighting it off and you're in the, and that's why you're here today because you
One
are
step at a
able to
time.
overcome the certain.
I think most of
Indeed, one
us
step
have
at a time, one
this
step at a time.
Great.
fear of
Great.
public speaking, so that's why we all are here. That's the biggest challenge in our life. Yeah.
Great. Superb. That's lovely to hear how we all are fighting our ghost, our fears, and moving forward. And with that hopeful thing, we will be moving to our next section, which is the table topic. But before I move forward, can we take a 5 minutes break and then come back, or after this section we will be taking the break?
No,
Presiding
Toastmaster
officer.
Namrata, we'll take a 5 minutes break. And
Okay.
before that, let's all give a standing ovation to Toastmaster Sapna for our icebreaker speech.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much,
All
everyone.
this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's
So
take a
now
five.
we'll go for the 5 minutes break.
Yeah. Okay. I hope everyone is here, and shall we start or we wait for another minute for everyone to join?
I think let's start.
Okay, great. So let's start to the next section of our Toastmasters session. So now this session is the most exhilarating part of our meeting, which is the table topics. Here we truly today we will see the fight and the flight response in action on the spot with no preparation. Our table topic master, Toastmaster Mamta Jain, she has prepared some intriguing questions designed to challenge our quick thinking and impromptu speaking skills. And for those who might have this pang to flight at the thought of impromptu speaking, remember this is a safe space to fight those nerves, and every attempt is a victory, as we have learned that every time it's a different version and the better version of us. So let me call upon our Toastmaster, the table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. She brings with her unique blend of creativity and logic, being both a visual designer and an engineer. This rare combination shapes her perspective, allowing her to tackle challenges with imaginative flair and analytical precision. Beyond her professional pursuits, she finds joy in Swadhyay, reading religious texts, painting, and practicing yoga. She has joined Toastmasters with a clear and inspiring goal to become a more confident and impactful speaker. With that, over to you, Toastmaster Mamta Jain.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nirmita, for the warm introduction. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Mamta Jain, and I have the pleasure of being the table topic master for today's meeting. Welcome to the table topics session. Table topics enables a member to develop the skills of impromptu speaking. Table topics help train members to quickly organize and express their thoughts. You can think of the table topic speech as a mini speech with an opening, a body, and a conclusion. This also provides a speaking opportunity for any member who is not on duty in the meeting agenda. Guests may also participate if they wish. During table topics, I will invite a member or a guest to attempt a table topic. I will give out the topic once the participant confirms their willingness. Each speaker will get 1 to 2 minutes of time. You need to speak a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes, 30 seconds to qualify for polling. Green card will be shown at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute and 30 seconds, and red card at 2 minutes. You will get an additional 30 seconds grace time to wrap up your speech. Fight or flight. It is our natural response when facing fear or challenge. But in daily life, danger is not always physical. It can be a tough conversation, a bold decision, or even stepping onto this very stage. Today, our theme explores how we deal with pressure. Do we stand or fight, or step back and fly? Let's start our table topic session. Those who are interested, please raise your hands. Yes, Toastmaster Rahul, Soni.
Yes, madam.
Would you like to come on stage? Okay. Toastmaster Rahul, do you think avoiding conflict is wise or weak? Do you think avoiding conflict is wise or weak? Toastmaster Rahul.
Thank you very much, table topic master, Toastmaster Mamta. Avoiding conflicts, wise or weak. Let me share my personal experience. Initially, whenever I would not have a conflict with somebody else, or whenever I would not share my views with somebody else, most often it would be because of what they will think about me. I would have that insecurity, I would have that fear. And then somewhere other part of mind would say, what's the point of arguing? It's no point arguing, it's baseless. And somewhere that fear and silence kept in me for a longer time, only to realize that I'm the best and they are weak. And that led me to a lot of absolute confusion that led me to a lot of mishap in my mind. Then one day, somewhere over another, I was forced to realize that you have to open up to understand what it feels like, to understand other person's point of view. But further, you must welcome it. And when I started opening up to people in general, and I realized that I'm able to have a unique sense of view of theirs in my mind, and I'm able to interpret it my way. And somewhere I felt that this is something which I can take and express better. And somewhere I realized that there's a thin line between avoiding conflicts. When you open up, when you fight for something, for your right, and when you win it, it feels good. But often what happens is we are afraid to lose. We are afraid to embarrass ourselves. We are afraid to fail in general. And thereby we avoid conflicts when it's not needed. Of course, there are situations and places where it's better to avoid to stay out of trouble. But how long are you going to keep away from that? Because some place or another where you're supposed to take stand, you have to really fight for them, fight for yourselves. As in Mahabharata, they said that people usually be quiet when they have to fight, and people fight when they have to be quiet. And that's a really absolute misbalance which we have been living. You have, when you know when to fight, when to really take a stand for yourself, you will automatically win the battles that are inside you. And that makes you indeed a resolute warrior. And that is the first step to keep moving forward in the journey of life. With this, let me conclude by saying that I do believe that you should be quiet more, be silent more, and be aware more and mindful more. But when it comes to a fight, just go ahead. What are your views, table topic master? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rahul. That was a great response. Toastmaster Shalin, would you like to come next?
Just 1 minute for interrupting. Please
Yes.
share the topics on the chat because there is a lot of trees falling over here. So there's a people, I can't hear any topics. So please, can you share if you don't mind?
Okay. Toastmaster Sachin. When failure hits, you try again or pivot. When failure hits, do you try again or pivot? Toastmaster Sachin.
You meant Shaleen? Hello?
Yeah, Toastmaster Shaleen.
Could you please repeat? Sorry, I thought it was not for me. I'm so sorry. Could you please?
I have typed it on the chat also.
Okay, when failure hits, do you try?
When failure
Okay.
hits, do you try again or pivot?
Thank you, table topic master, for this topic. When failure hits, do you try again or pivot? I think it depends on the situation. First of all, one should always learn to not give up in front of the failure. If I take my own example, I have failed multiple times in my life. I have given lots of competitive examinations and failed in them. For example, IIT entrance examination and the CAT exam. However, I did not give up, and I kept on trying again and again until I get what I wanted. So the example is I gave GMAT and scored good marks in that examination, which is also a competitive exam and could get a good college admission. However, one should also learn to pivot and not keep on struggling. One should know when to when to stop stretching the string, because the string can break sometimes. Say for example, if you are in a bad relationship. This is not my personal example. If you're in a bad relationship with some friend of yours, it might be possible that you can try initially and not give up, because you have this tendency of not giving up when failure strikes you. But when it becomes too tight to hold on to something, I think the best thing to do is to give up. And it goes for the arguments as well. When you're arguing with somebody who doesn't know, who whom you feel that is not who you feel that is not listening to what you are saying, sometimes you have to just pause and accept their viewpoint and then go ahead. So I think I will conclude my speech saying this, that it depends on the situation. When failure strikes, you have to either stay resolute and keep on trying, or you have to pivot to a new strategy. Over to you, table topic master.
Great job, Toastmaster Shaleen. Thinking on your feet. Toastmaster Suchita, and would you like to come next? Toastmaster Shekhar Paduka.
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Okay, Toastmaster Suchita, are you ready?
Yes.
Toastmaster Suchita, which is tougher, fighting on your dreams or letting them go? Which is tougher, fighting on your dreams or letting them go? Over to you, Toastmaster.
As everybody knows, fighting with your dreams is really tougher, as I'm doing for myself. Fighting with my dreams, it started from my childhood. When I have seen struggles in my life, it was the time when everybody says that I am not able to do studies properly. I was not very well in my studies. And from my extended family members, they are trying to say that she will not do studies. But I, I felt myself, no, I will do it. I will do it myself. I will fight back. It was a tougher decision, but still, I tried to do that. Slowly, gradually, I have done my graduation, post graduation, and I've given my answers to the people who was talking to me. Definitely, it's a tougher time that people also talking to you and you need to give back to them. But I fight, and I'm in a situation right now. I could able to prove myself. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suchita. That was a thoughtful and engaging answer. Shekhar, would you like to speak?
Yes, actually.
Before Shekhar starts, Mamta, who were the speakers till now? Can you just tell me the names quickly? I'm editing the polls. Can you put it on chat, please, someone? Thank you.
Okay, should we start? Who is coming next? Toastmaster Shekhar?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Stuck in a toxic job. Stay and fix it or leave and restart. Stuck in a toxic job. Stay and fix it or leave and restart. Toastmaster Shekhar, over to you.
Okay. I need 10 seconds to before speaking actually for this, for timer. Okay, I can start now. Thanks, Mamata. So it was indeed a great topic. So if I see in my previous, I have around 11 years experience, and I experienced same situation in my one of the previous company. So what basically I was stuck in a management, micromanagement they are doing actually, the managers, all the higher authority. So I was constantly thinking over a month actually. So how to deal with this? So how to take this? So whatever I could give, and from my side, I'm doing day by day everything. But I don't see any change from the management perspective. So be it to be manager, my immediate manager, or my team lead. So what I decided, I spoke with a different people first of all. So this is a situation, how to handle this, how to go ahead. So I got a lot of suggestions. Like few people told, you give your more time and spend working more hours and give it your 100%. And few people told, try to delegate and talk to them and whatever you are doing. And like this, I got few of them, and I tried them, and still I don't see. Then what I decided, so give it a simultaneously, find a new job. Then I started preparing my interviews, and I also prepared a new resume, and I started giving. So when I started giving, and I was talking also, I'm looking outside, then things have changed actually. So I don't know why, but it seems when you start your new journey and people or things will change, I understood that time. So then I gave 100% time in searching outside, and also less half of the time for giving a organization. Then things has moved, and I got a good hike at that time, and then they tried to keep me in this organization. But eventually I decided, because people are doing all this because of I am staying and I'm obedient to them. Then I decided not to stay in this organization, and I stayed, choosing the choice of going out to organization from there, and I saw myself very fruitful. So this is bottom line is you have to discuss with the people, and you have to strategically take the decision, and you should not go into flight mode, and you generally has to take a smart decision in this, because it decides your uh, career, and as well as although career depends on all other perspectives. So I can, with this I can say, so decide well, don't go into fight or fright mode. Thanks. With this, thanks, Mamta.
Thank you, Shekhar. The way you connected the topic to the career was very clever. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, who is trying to speak next?
I think I can give it a try if there's nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the question?
Okay. Toastmaster Sapna Agarwal.
Yes.
Have you ever avoided a challenge and later regretted it? Have you ever avoided a challenge and later regretted it? Toastmaster Sapna.
Thank you so much, Toast Table Topic Master Mamta Jain. Actually, if I reflect upon, I think there are so many challenges that I always feel that I should have taken up in my life, but I did not take up at that particular moment out of some kind of fear, hesitation, or nervousness. And later on, I really regretted. I wish I would have taken them. I'll tell you an incident recently. What happened? It's a true story, actually. This is what happened in my life. There's an organization, a club where we all are members, ladies club basically, and I was offered the post of secretary of that club, and probably they considered me to be appropriate and suitable candidate for that, but trust me, in my heart of hearts, I was so nervous. I thought, who would be giving so much of time, and such things, demand a lot of time, a lot of energy, and also that you'll have to go again and again on the stage and pick up mics, and you'll have to speak and give speeches and those kinds of things. Out of this nervousness and fear in my heart, I did not take up that opportunity. And later on, somebody else became the secretary, and I felt extremely bad. I just thought I really should have taken up that opportunity. I would have learned so much. It instills so much of leadership qualities in us, and I would have learned so many things. I would have, defeated my nervousness, and there would have so many things that I would have learned. So I really regret at times that I should have taken up such a challenge. And there was another challenge that I was being offered some post related to law somewhere, which I had not taken up at that point of time. And later on, I really regretted. Wish I would have taken. I would have done so well, because the person who was doing much lesser than me, of much lesser stature. So it happens at times that you later on regret when you miss upon some good opportunities. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sapna. Well done. You handled the topic with confidence. Now next, Toastmaster Nagitha, would you like to come next? Sorry, you are. Do you want to speak, Nagitha? Pallavi, you want to speak? Anyone who want to speak?
Mamta, you can go ahead and pick up people also. You don't need to keep on asking them. You
Yes,
can go ahead and call people also, not a problem. I see Devorshi has raised his hand. Yeah, you can ask Devorshi to take the next topic.
Okay. Toastmaster Deva.
I'm not a Toastmaster. I'm just a guested one. So I'm not yet being a member of this. I'm yet to.
Okay.
So this is one of the
Devashi.
first time I've joined it out. So yeah. Just I will try it out with the topic whichever is going to get shared.
Devashi, your topic is, when was the last time you surprised yourself with courage? When was the last time you surprised yourself with courage? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta. Well, this is such a topic which I would rather say that throughout my career, I am full of surprises with my career point of view, in fact. So last time I would say in my career, or rather my professional field, where I got more of the surprises because I have moved from different domains of my working life. I've started my career with life insurance, then I moved to banking part. From the banking, then again I moved to IT field. So these are more of the challenges which I have faced out. I never thought that I would rather being part of any IT field post the banking or the projects which I've worked over. But that was a big challenge for me because that was a completely different domain where I was part of. I've been involved, and uh, in fact, it was altogether for me a challenge because not getting any calls related to that. I was not being any interview calls, but I kept on saying to myself that one day I will definitely be able to clear out the interviews, or rather being part of any of the companies. And the time was very crucial because I tried it out during the COVID phase, where was the persons or the individuals are not getting any interview calls during that time. So that was more challenging because I was, in fact, also I left my current job, and then I started trying out for this profile. So that completely was an different, I would say that challenging for me. And finally, I got succeed. And post COVID, I got a job as a business analyst in the IT sector. So I would say that that was a challenge for me, and I took that challenge in a positive note. Thank you, Toastmaster Mamta.
Thank you, Devashi. The example you shared made the topic relatable. Nicely done.
Thank you. I tried.
Toastmaster Palvi, you want to speak next?
Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I would love to take topic.
Okay. Toastmaster Pallavi, is flight always a sign of weakness, or can it be wisdom? Is flight always a sign of weakness, or can it be wisdom? Toastmaster Pallavi.
Can you repeat the second word? I couldn't get you.
Yeah, I am typing on the chat also. Yeah. Is flight always a sign of weakness, or can it be wisdom?
Right. I couldn't understand the topic. Please, can you elaborate?
Is flight always a sign of weakness, or can it be wisdom?
Okay, thank you so much. That is wonderful topic. According to me, the flight is the sign of wisdom. Suppose there's no point in staying at a place when people are not ready to hear you, and they just want to argue and stretching the topic again and again. So people always says it's always a wise decision to speak only where your words are value, and when the person or the other side is ready to hear you, understand you. Otherwise, there is no point in arguing or staying at a place where your words are not valued or your words are not understood. People always says only a only a dog barks against the running car, and who has to go where he doesn't have any time or time to wait to make the other people understand, and unnecessary stretch your point over there. So it's wiser to keep quiet and move further, instead of arguing at a place where your words are not valued or people are not ready to understood or understand, because you have more important things to do in your life. Maybe if the people are closer to you and they value you and they need your word and wisdom, then it you must stay back and help them out. So thank you, and back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Palvi. That was insightful. Thank you to all the speakers who faced their mini fight or flight moment right here on this stage. Whether you fought nervousness or flew past your comfort zone, you were victorious. Life is full of choices, but courage doesn't always mean confrontation, or retreat doesn't always mean defeat. The real power lies in knowing which instinct to trust and when. Let's keep the spirit alive as we move forward with the rest of the today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Nirmita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mamta. It was an amazing section where the questions which you have asked were really intriguing, and also it has brought out the natural responses and the authentic self of everyone. We have learned so much from the experiences of others, how they have taken the situation, what course they have taken, and how it has helped. So, yes, all thanks to you for the right kind of questions, and which has helped people to dive into their reactions at certain point of time. So, having said that, let's move to our next section, where I would be requesting our general evaluator to come, because to share the uh, the feedbacks. This is the final segment of us, and the evaluators have been carefully listening. Sorry, anyone is saying something? Okay. So, as I was saying, that this is the final segment of this session, and our evaluators have been carefully listening, and now they will be providing their insights, helping our speakers to grow. So, this is where we learn again, how constructively the critic and accept the feedback while training our skills over. So, over to you, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Puneeth.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Nirmita. At the outset, I believe we have had a very productive meeting. I believe somebody has their, if they can unmute. Um, we've had a very productive and focused meeting, as I said. I feel we started dot on time, and all the tech checks was already in place. There was a lot of effort that has gone in before this meeting started. So I congratulate the entire subcommittee, the ExCom, and the standing presiding officer for making this meeting start on time. Coming to the first individual that we all saw, Rise and Shine Gabbys, Sergeant Arms Paduka. Kudos to you that you have this energy and enthusiasm that starts things off on the right note, especially especially for the members and guests, because it's for most of our attendees today. It's a Saturday morning, so you were like a shot of espresso first thing in the meeting. So kudos for that. The only suggestion I have for you is, I could notice you were juggling 3 roles at once. You were the sergeant arms, you were the prepared speaker, and you were a Zoom moderator. So see if you can lighten your meeting role by taking support of somebody else, maybe a subcommittee member who can stand in for you as sergeant arms, or maybe handing it over to somebody else in the XCOM who can take care of the Zoom moderation for you, so you can better focus on your prepared speech. That would be my suggestion, Toastmaster Paduka. For the presiding officer, I will evaluate at the end because she still has her role. The joke master, I believe you had the energy, you had the voice modulation, you were very descriptive in terms of characterization. The only thing I would bring to your notice probably is that a lot of times we feel it is funny in our head, in our group of friends, in our contexts. It may not translate to a bigger group. So see if you can fall back on some tried and tested punchlines that you can add and incorporate in your jokes. And it's okay to take creative liberty and change a few aspects. So always keep that in mind. For the Toastmaster of the day, I will also reserve for the latter part of my evaluation report. I will move on to the first speaker's evaluator. Can I have the first evaluator of Toastmaster Paduka Kannan? The evaluator has been a seasoned Toastmaster. He was recently responsible for bringing in the biggest crowd of coronation, over 545 registrations. So can we please have Toastmaster Sathyanarayan Induchoodan evaluate Toastmaster Paduka's speech?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Thank you for that introduction. Where is Paduka? I know you're there. I just can't see you right now because I'm pinned. But let me start off with let me start off with your evaluation. First and foremost, congratulations on a speech well delivered. Now, there are a few things that I liked, some things that I feel could be improved upon, and some couple of challenges that I want to give it to you. Now, the initial introduction of the way that you started the speech was quite nice. I really liked your energy and the way you started off, and the way in which you were talking about different people having different styles of communication. Yet, ultimately, it's all adaptive. Right? That is one key point that I've always taken away from this one project, is the fact that everyone has to be adaptive. It's just that each one has some strength and some weaknesses when it comes to communication, and you put that across brilliantly. You also partially met the objective wherein you did mention about your communication style, which was the fact that you are expressive. There is brightness and calmness. So there is expressiveness and there is calmness in the way that you talk. And also the fact that your entire speech was quite fast paced. You were covering quite a bit in the way you were speaking. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if you met the time or not because we had sort of a technical issue. So there's an issue there. Now, coming to the things that I felt you could have worked upon, right? Now, you did mention the topic being brightness and darkness, or black and white in that aspect, the duality. I personally felt that the speech did not come across in the fact that you're mentioning on why there was a duality in your expressions and your calmness. I feel you could have mentioned a few more instances or examples on why there is a duality present there, because you did mention one particular snippet, but I don't feel that came across in that subject matter of what you were mentioning. And then one other thing that I felt you could have done better is the fact that it sort of felt okay. So quite frankly, it sort of felt like you were reading the script, because when I could see your eye movement, it felt like you were glancing across, and it sort of took me off the speech because I I believe you are a capable enough person that you could have delivered the entire thing without having that sort of an impression. I'm not sure if you did or not, but that is the impression that came across in the way that your eyes were moving across. So maybe the eye contact that was present could have been improved upon a bit more. And lastly, please make sure, I mean, the virtual backgrounds and all that are the challenges that I would say. Like, please don't have the virtual background, try and stand and deliver. These are things that I would just put out across a challenge, because those are not things that you need to improve upon, but maybe things that you need to just take care of. So overall, love the speech, but I feel that the duality that you mentioned could have come across better if you had more personal stories added in. Please do try and improve upon the eye contact, and take care of things like the virtual background and the standing and delivering and all that. I know I'm sitting and delivering my evaluation, but still, with this, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sathyanarayan. As a general evaluator, evaluate the evaluator. I believe you made very specific notes. You also were very well spoken. You were clinical and blunt. And you also summarized all your points at the end. So kudos to you. Probably the only area where I would improvise or suggest you is when you mentioned that duality was missing, maybe give an example. Sample this within the script of the speaker. The other element is, I felt once the red card was up, you were rushed. Maybe take a moment to see how you can shorten the aspect of, which is a harder feedback you gave of, you read from the notes. Probably you could have retweaked it, saying, perhaps you can present without notes, or maybe a cue card. And that would have been a brief time. Having said that, let's move to the second speaker, which was an icebreaker speech. And to evaluate this, we have somebody that sees ghosts in people. Well, it aligns perfectly because he's in the optical business and he's a CTM. So please join me in welcoming Rahul Soni, who's evaluating icebreaker speech speaker, Sapna Agarwal.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Puneeth. Toastmaster Sapna Agarwal, I must say that you proudly, confidently, and bravely broke the ice. I want all of you to please give a big hand to Toastmaster Sapna Agarwal. What I personally liked about your speech is it has a good structure. Like 15% is always the opening, 70% is the body, and 15% is the closing. And Toastmaster Sapna had a very unique perspective of an icebreaker speech. More than sharing about herself, she was sharing about what are her fears and how did she overcome her fears. And the content of that was like, wow, nobody could think that it's like icebreaker speech, but there's some element of you connecting to it. And that's a very beautiful take you had upon it. I like the way, like you had a very good, hearty way for storytelling, and I was able to feel it instead of just you being in that place. What I would do if I were in your place, and that is something which was very unique about it, very unique about the speech. I like that first. You mentioned about the three fears, like the personal fear, then taking chances, and then the professional fear. And then in the professional sphere, you spoke about two law cases that changed your life, changed your perspective. I'm like, that's wow, a good way to win life, a good way for it. And you ended up with saying that nothing is impossible. I'm a resolute person. You did mention that. I am like really great and really moved by your speeches. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Sapna Agarwal. I would like to say that your speech had a very good charm. And I was really moved by your speech. Regardless of which, I only have one small recommendation. Because you mentioned about the profession and your fears associated with it, how you overcame it. As an icebreaker, we want to know you as a person, which you did justice, we'll keep that aside. I felt that your aim was to introduce yourself to the club, like where you're born, talk about your family members, talk about your school, college, what led you to law, and what made you join Toastmaster. Because as an icebreaker, we have to know what is it that really moved you towards joining the Toastmaster. That's the first thing. And apart from that, I personally feel that that went a little more like speech was more about your fears, overcoming your fears, and what you do about it. Nothing wrong about it, but the purpose of it should be matching it. That is my take, I would say. But apart from that, I would just like to say that your speech was just brilliant. I enjoyed the move of your speech. I am really giving a thumbs up. Like, go ahead with forthcoming meetings and proceeding ahead. Just follow the purpose of what you have to speak because you're a very well spoken person. To conclude my statement, I would say that you match the structure, that is 15% opening, 70% body, and 50% closing. You match the structure, you added a touch and storytelling edge to it as a lawyer. Commendations were you broke the ice, everything was clear. Only recommendation is next time you can as an icebreaker, next time you can introduce more about your family, your school, your college, your profession, and then what made you join Toastmaster. That is one thing. To sum it up, let me add upon saying that as a person, I got to know you to be a firm, confident, and a resolute person. And until then, justice is served right. The court is adjourned until the next meeting. Over to you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Puneeth.
Thank you, Rahul. That was a very poetic evaluation, if I could say so. I really admire your energy and how encouraging you come across, especially on the Zoom screen. My only suggestion is whenever you're mentioning opening, body, and conclusion, and with percentage, and there's a lady speaker, you always have the attention to detail, say opening of the speech, body of the speech, conclusion of the speech. Never just leave it 50% opening. It comes across in a wrong way. And I've seen meetings get disrupted because audiences get confused. Okay, keep that in mind. And I'm very happy that you're able to bring in the perspective of what an icebreaker does as a way to introduce the member to the club. The only suggestion, probably if I can, to Sapna is, now that you've given your icebreaker speech, make sure you get in touch with your mentor for all your further speeches. So they will be able to direct you better of what is the project goal. Okay. Having said that, let's move on to the tag team. Can I have the ever-present timer, Malathi, please present the report.
Yeah, let me share the report. Okay, I don't have the sharing rights. Let me read out. Actually, all the table topic speakers except Shekhar, all of them are qualified. And evaluation, both evaluators, were within the time. And the prepared speeches, Bhattacharya's one, sorry, I could not time it due to some technical glitches. Sapna is within the time. Thank you.
Thank you for that brief evaluation, Toastmaster Malathi. I believe I missed the table topics evaluator. Can I have, she's a veteran Toastmaster and she's been part of Toastmasters for over 5 years. And she's most recently responsible for bringing over 60 members to Toastmasters and over 545 registrations in coronation. Can we have the table topic evaluator, encouraging and motivating teacher, Toastmaster Mita, give the report?
General Evaluator Toastmaster Puneeth, just one small update. I believe she's got a power cut and I believe she should be joining in later on, but I guess we can actually move ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the update, Presiding Officer. We can move on, to the Presiding Officer because he is the language evaluator too for this role. Could you present the report,
Thanks so much. I would just go ahead and share my screen. 1 second. Yeah, is my screen visible now? So
yes.
First, I hope it's visible. Okay. First, I would actually like to congratulate all the speakers and the role takers. In terms of the filler words, I guess there were some speakers who made use of short pauses and some of the speakers, but I guess it was very minimal. So I would like to just encourage you to keep going in the same way and be conscious of your filler words. And this is just a quick report for today's meeting. I would just like to call out, like for Paduka, Kannan, some of the rhetorical devices used was anapora, which was sometimes a go-to fast, rule of three, which is expressive, be kind, structured, and not the word of the day. So Toastmaster Sapna again used the rhetorical devices of rule of three, which is encourage hard work and determination. She also made use of some phrases and idioms like heart of hearts. Some areas of improvement, missed upon many opportunities, missed many opportunities would be a much better usage. Thought came upon in my mind, thought came in my mind would be a better usage there. And Toastmaster Sapna also made use of the word of the day. Toastmaster Mamta, who had taken up the TTM role, There were some filler words used, which is some pronunciation which was used as pivot. I guess better usage would be a pivot. And rhetorical devices like anaphora, when to fight, when to take stand. Some noteworthy phrases, thin line between avoiding conflicts. And she also made use of the word of the day. Rahul also encouraged and made use of the word of the day, and he had a noteworthy phrase of hearty way of storytelling. Toastmaster Shalin had a metaphor, when to stop stretching a string, and phrases like never give up, and also made use of the word of the day. Toastmaster Shaker had some short pauses during the table topics and some pronunciation issues. We'll give it some more time. And areas of improvement, micromanagement they are doing, micromanagement is being practiced, would be a much better usage. Things got changed, things got moved again, things changed over time would be a much better way of putting it across. And Toastmaster Pallavi, who's another table topic speaker, she had like quite a lot of filler words. And one good metaphor used, a dog barks at the running car. So I would also be pasting the link in the chat window for you to make available of this report. And thank you so much. And just congratulations to all the speakers who had less number of filler words usage. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi, for the crisp grammarian report and the R counter report. The only perhaps you could chunk aspects where what of the day was used by so-and-so members, and 0 to 5 filler words or crutch words were used by so-and-so people. These were the flawless speakers with no crutch words. Chunking them helps. It saves time and it retains the engagement of the members. Having said that, let's move to the listeners. Jayesh, would you like to quiz us with what went on in the meeting, please?
Thank you. So here comes the questions. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Paduka Kannan, spoke about communication. What was the title of her speech? Anyone? Come on, guys, it's Saturday morning. No one? Okay, so the answer is I speak in light and shadow. So in her speech, Toastmaster Paduka Kannan spoke about 4 basic style of communication, right? Or is it 5? How many style of communication she spoke about?
4.
I just gave the answer. Our second speaker, Toastmaster Sapna, she spoke about overcoming the voice of fear. But in her speech, she also mentioned the opportunity she missed during her school days. What was the opportunity?
Class president.
Class representative. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And can any one of you name one of her childhood fear?
Water.
Water.
Fear of water, aquaphobia. And the last question, our table topic participant, guest Devarshi, spoke about changing her career from banking industry to which industry?
IT.
Great, correct. That's all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Jayesh. I applaud you for listening so closely to the meeting and preparing these questions. Perhaps you can take 15 20 seconds and reinstate what your role is, or add a bit of element of how you felt about the meeting before jumping into the questions. And if you can, add an incentive for those who answer the most. Maybe give them a Ferrari, or at least an image of it, virtual background of it. Having said that, let's move to the presiding officer that I missed. I believe Sri Lakshmi is doing this for the first time. So you had the sense of humor in place. You were on time. You had the entire flow of what all is catered to within the presiding officer's role. And not only that, you also had the dual role of a grammarian and counter. And at a club like Gabbys, it's a tall order. just to live up to the LE role. You are juggling both of them. So there's a lot of heavy lifting. The only aspects I would feel we missed out on was a presiding officer's address. We usually have 3 to 5 minutes of presiding officer's address, which sort of sets the tone of the meeting, especially for visiting members and guests. Maybe that is an area that we can prepare and work on. And the second thing is something which is general across our club, which I'll come to later. Jumping on to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nirmita Bhattacharya. Kudos to you, first time role taker, and you've done such a tremendously well done job. I say that because you not only had the introductions prepared, you also had very thoughtful transitions throughout the meeting. I believe she was a very apt sutradhar for all of us today. Despite taking it for the first time, you had your personal story, you had a bit of vulnerability that you shared with us. You had very good audience engagement by asking Q&A. So kudos for all of that. Probably a few areas of improvement, if I could suggest, would be that you mentioned that you gathered the courage to show up today as a TMOD. I wish you had given us a little bit more detail because you did have the time. You had about 2 to 3 more minutes in your time frame before we got into the prepared speech section. That would be one. The second thing is you set the tone for what is Toastmasters. So mentioning about what is Toastmasters, when it started, how big is the fraternity, really sort of grounds the overall aspect of the Toastmasters. I realize Sri Lakshmi did that and you did not want to touch upon it, but maybe have the clarity of what is Toastmasters and introducing Toastmasters to the meeting. And you can talk about Ralph C. Smedley as well and his role in building Toastmasters. The only other suggestion I have is you had the introductions in place, you had the name, the title, speech title in place. Just the order, perhaps, if we could switch. Maybe start off with the introduction, and then you come to the name, reveal the name of the person. That way you have a build-up and you have a crescendo when you introduce them and you leave the stage for them, instead of doing it the other way, which was followed today. Try that out next meeting and let me know how the vibe shifts. Having said that, kudos to the Toastmaster of the day for a job well done. Moving on, we had the table topic master, Toastmaster Mamta Jain. You always have this warm, homely, hospitable, and inviting energy, Toastmaster Mamta. Your topics were short and easy. You had encouraging transitions throughout. It was almost like you were gently holding our hands throughout the table topic session. You were polite and you were very professional. The only areas of improvement that I could address and would be, I still feel we are reading off the screen. And I would advise you to have a glance at the screen like I'm doing right now, and then come back to us. We want you to be with us. And this is a general feedback for a lot of other members as well. We want to connect with you, and we want you to make sure you look at us when you speak. You can summarize whatever is on the screen, take a glance and come back to us, please. Okay. The other aspect is you are the table topic master. This is your turn. You get to decide who comes. And so that is why you must always choose members. Give them 5-10 seconds. If they are not accessible, move to the next member. There were a lot of interruptions. Again, this is your turf. You are the lady of the meeting for the next 15 minutes. So you decide how the interruptions will happen. If somebody comes on video and interrupts, you can set the ground rule saying, please use the chat box. Okay, so keep those in mind. And always introduce the topic first and then pick a member. That way, everyone gets the time to think about it. And if it's an easier topic, more people will jump on. Having said that, good job done, Mamta. You always come prepared and you're always warm. So kudos to you for taking and delivering such an impactful role today. Do we have Toastmaster Mita back? If not, we can proceed.
Toastmaster
No,
Puneeth,
I don't
not
see
yet.
her yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Maybe the XCOM could communicate to her to share the feedback on the WhatsApp group, so all of us can still benefit from it.
Sure.
Coming to a few general suggestions and feedbacks that I would have for the club and the committee before I close. One would be, we cannot have salutations at this club like we do in in-person meetings or in our meetings when we have a clarity of the time. Because it's an international stage, a good morning, good evening, good night is not relevant anymore. I really like to default to hi all or hello everyone, or the one that our enthusiastic and bubbly Sergeant Arms uses, rise and shine Gabbys. You get to decide, but make sure salutations are not relevant here. The other aspect is this is an international stage. And because of that, we need to dress for it. Whether we are a speaker, a presiding officer, or just a member, remember that this is being recorded and it is up for posterity on YouTube that anyone can search. And that is why we can't afford to show up in casuals. Try and dress up. Just a blazer sometimes helps, or a scarf sometimes helps. So I would urge you all to dress up because we want to level up as a club. It's an international platform. Let's live up to it. The third aspect in line with that is this is for the XCOM as well, we need an education session, especially on how to do the lighting, the framing in the Zoom, and how to have the camera angle set. Sometimes in the meeting, I felt I am gone back to the era of Doordarshan and BBC because the member was not in their best light. And that is why we need to fine tune it. We have a lot of standardization in place with the backdrop, with the name before which there's a role that we have in the username. We need to take a step forward. We need clear spotlights on our members, and we need an education session for that. So if the XCOM could make a note of that. The meeting flow was very smooth throughout. However, there were a few interruptions that happened on video. We want to avoid that as much as possible. Use the text box. And if somebody is not using the text box or not seeing the text box, the Sergeant Arms, please call them so they acknowledge the text box message. If that doesn't happen, then only interrupt the main meeting by getting on the video. Having said that, we have had a phenomenal meeting. We started on time and we stayed focused. We did not fly, we did not fight. We stayed focused and we flew. On that note, I hand it back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Puneeth. And it was indeed a thoughtful feedback and insights which has been shared by you and your tag team to all the speakers, including me, and of course the feedbacks taken, and this will be used in future to come up with a better way, better format, and better speeches. Having said that, we are here with our entire session where we have heard about the different facets of our theme today, which is fight or flight. We have seen individuals where they have been fighting their nerves to deliver the powerful speeches with the clarity of impromptu speaking, and also the excellence through constructive evaluation. Not only that, we have heard the stories about individuals, how they have responded to certain situations. And the best part, when we have learned, is always fighting is not the course of action someone needs to take. You have to be quiet, you have to be calm, and fight when it's required. You don't give up at first, but yes, if it's required, you have to take the strategic uh, action. So the strategic action is sometimes to take a flight, take a moment, gather your thoughts, and take your decision ahead. With all those learnings in place, I would like to thank everyone, all the participants and the audience, the evaluators and the speakers for the day, and over to the presiding officer.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nirmita Bhattacharya. Even though it was your first role and it didn't look like a first timer for a TMOD role. So let's give a round of applause to our TMOD today. So before I go ahead and complete the meeting today, I would go ahead and launch the poll for right now. So please vote for your best role takers. Yeah, So as you continue voting for your best role takers, I would just like to call upon some few guest and visiting Toastmaster for a quick 30 seconds, might be a feedback in terms of how the meeting went. Any guest or visiting Toastmasters who would like to come forward? Rahul, Soni, would you like to give your quick 30 seconds feedback on the meeting?
Yeah, sure. The meeting was really good, engaging. I really like the warmth of it. To be honest, I'm attending the part of Chennai Toastmasters Club, which means I'm exposed to more of the Chennai environment. But attending Gabbys, it just reminds me of my journey in Bangalore because I'm a Christite. And it's a very different journey. I'm able to recollect my college days. And that itself is a very good take for me. And I really enjoyed being a part of it. Thank you very much to Toastmaster Nancy, who really encouraged me to be a part of it. And Toastmaster Money, who really persuaded me to take up this role. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rahul. I haven't seen you in any of the meetings earlier, but I would look forward to seeing you in more meetings upcoming. And thank you so much for your evaluation and your feedback.
Thank you. Thank you.
Toastmaster Shekhar, would you like to provide your thoughts as to how the meeting was and how did you feel the meeting was?
Yeah, I can felt it's very warmth, and I can see a lot of personal learnings has been said, and lot of people are very encouraging to take other people's roles, and also the table topics are very much more compared to other clubs where they use one or two table topics, but here I can see we have as many as possible, and I can see it's a very good to others to speak who are attending, and they feel like they spoke, it gives a good sense. And overall it was very nice joining. It is my first Gavis meeting, online join, and looking forward to join coming. And I request anyone can add me into the group, or so that I can, if you have any group, so that I can get this. Actually, it was very wonderful session. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shekhar, for coming forward and attending your very first meeting with Gabbys. But yeah, we would also be posting the guest group link, which you can be part of. And yeah, looking forward to see you in more meetings upcoming. As mentioned, we have like a meeting on Tuesday and Saturday going forward. Anyone else who would like to come forward and give you quick feedback? 30 seconds. Jayesh, how about your thoughts of the meeting?
It was really pleasant, well coordinated, and definitely the topic was really, really relevant, at least for me, because I really have that fear of speaking in front of public, so many people. And the takeaway was amazing. Role takers, the speakers, super presentation. Uh, Really, it made my Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jayesh. So could we have a round of applause for all the people who came forward, joined the meeting for the first time, and also provided your valuable feedback. So as mentioned, we will look forward to keep seeing you in many more upcoming meetings and to be part of the Gabbys meeting. So I believe all of you have actually voted for your favorite role takers. But before I go ahead and announce the result, as per the Gabbys tradition, we always share the woes and woes of the meeting. So I guess in terms of the good aspects or the good part of the meeting was more in terms of the timing. So we did start on time, sharp at 10, and we always maintain our time schedules. So we're always going to wrap up on time. So I guess that's one of the good aspects for the meeting. But also taking into consideration all the feedback provided by our general evaluator today. So we would come back with some of the fine tunes which are required in terms of, I guess, the spotting of the role takers, and I know we always have a TTE section, which is the main aspect of our meetings on Saturday. And I guess we're actually missing out on the TTE section today. So I guess I've also dropped in a message. So hopefully the communication will be reached, and we will come back at least over a feedback on all the TTE speakers so that they don't feel left out for their effort. So all the feedback will be shared by the TTE evaluators. So we will consider all the points and feedbacks addressed in the meeting for our upcoming meetings. So in order to conclude for our meeting today, so please applaud all the winners who will be called upon. So for our favorite role player today, which was between the TMOD, GE, TTM, and TTE, Obviously, we are missing out the TT, but then the winner for today's favorite role taker is TMOD, Toastmaster Nirmita Bhattacharya. Could we give a round of applause and keep applauding all the winners? And I would request anyone to please highlight or spotlight her. And moving over to the favorite auxiliary role taker. So today it was played by timer, the language evaluator, and listener. It's truly yours. It's the language evaluator. And moving over to the favorite TTE speaker. I guess it's a very close tie, but then I guess the spotlight has gone to Toastmaster Shalin. And coming to the favorite evaluator, I guess that's a very close tie again, but then it's going to Toastmaster Rahul. So I would like to congratulate all the role takers who have actually made it, and would look forward to seeing you in many more meetings. And yeah, so it's a Saturday, so enjoy your day. So now I officially close the meeting number 237 of the Gabbys meeting. Thank you so much for everyone to join in, and looking forward to seeing you in many more meetings. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Who is the